Well, good morning. We begin with high school students taking a journalism class in Beverly Hills, California. The teacher asked them to write a front page news story for next Monday's school newspaper. Journalism class, high school, seniors mostly. Gave them the following information for that story. Quote, the entire faculty of Beverly Hills High School has been selected to attend a prestigious consortium at the state capitol. Teachers will leave by bus next Thursday evening and spend 3 days meeting with the governor and 2 U.S. senators as they discuss the latest innovations in artificial intelligence. Representatives from Apple, Microsoft, and ChatGPT will be in attendance. Now, the journalism students, they took that information and they had about 20 minutes to come up with their headlines and with their news stories and turn them into the teacher. And this was from Monday's school newspaper. 20 minutes later, they turned them in, and the teacher read out some of those headlines. Teachers to meet with governor and senators. Faculty to take a deep dive into AI. Beverly Hills teachers selected for elite conference. While the journalism instructor commended these students for their hard work, he also suggested that their headlines had missed the point. He said the proper headline for Monday's school paper should say, "Attention students, no school this Friday." Seeing what most people don't often comes up as an important aspect of the spiritual life. Seeing what most people don't. As you and I witness in today's epic gospel story about the 10 lepers, Jesus traveling north, enters a village where 10 lepers approach him. Their bond is not religious, it is not ethnic, but this band of 10 has a terrible, deadly disease that has quarantined them from the rest of the community. Now think back during your COVID days, right? Not too long ago, when you were not only regularly checking yourself for symptoms, but you couldn't go visit a dying aunt, you couldn't witness the marriage of your children because of the fear of a deadly disease. How terrible was that? Jesus hears the lepers' plight, he gives them his instructions, go show yourself to the priests, and lo and behold, they're all cured, every last one of them. And not just of that nasty disease, but of the social ostracization, their stinging extended separation from their loved ones. But now, thanks to Jesus, there's healing, all 10 of them. They're presumably filled with elation, and they're headed home to families, to friends, to communities that they haven't seen in God knows how long. All except for one person. He's the one who turns around. Now, I just love the image. Did you look at your bulletin covers? It's a really interesting painting. It's a contemporary painting. It's by a Mormon artist named James Christensen, who brilliantly captures this scene, and especially the expressions, if you can see them. Look at that 10th leper, the Samaritan. He seems to be the only one asking, wait, what? Caught in a precious moment of awareness, as something inside of him just won't let him go. It won't let him join the crowd of 9 and be swept up with the awesome, wondrous, unbelievable gift of receiving a brand new body, of receiving the rediscovery of presumably lost relationships, and the warmth of being able to rejoin a beloved community. Now, there's something else. There's something inside of this 10th leper that will send him off in the other direction and to fall prostrate at Jesus' feet. He was paying close attention to that inner voice, that God-given conscience that points him in the direction of God. It's his spiritual self, that part of us that chides us to give thanks, to offer gratitude, to see the beloved gift of life all around us and allow that wonder to turn into praise, to turn into thanks. So what about the other 9? Don't they have consciences too? Don't they also have a spiritual self that's calling them to go back and say thanks as well? Are they suffering from anosognosia, that medical term? It means the lack of awareness of one's own condition. Well, yeah, I think to a degree they are. And they're no different than I am. I frequently give no heed to my inner spiritual voice because I am caught up in a cacophony of other voices. Can we imagine the thoughts going through the minds of those 9 who had been miraculously, instantly cured? What's mom going to say when she sees me? I can't wait to be in the arms of my beloved. I am heading down to my cousin's restaurant and I'm going to eat and drink all night long. I get this, and I often find myself living the same way, caught up in a state of perpetual disassociation with that still small inner voice, because the voices of my emotions, of my intellect, of my body, of my environment are simply shouting so much louder. This story underlines the importance of what brought us to this place this morning, and that is to cultivate our spirits. That is to give greater yield to that inner voice of ours that's out there to save us and to save the world. This story underlines the dire importance of cultivating our inner selves. You and I have come in from the storm that's raging outside these walls, the dangerous divisions, the apathy, the violence, the uncertainty, powerful people, influential institutions that whitewash justice. Accountability is denigrated and ignored, negotiation and mutual respect elbowed out by vicious rhetoric and dehumanizing characterization, and that's just on my Facebook page. All products of an inner self in desperate need, of souls that have lost their way, of a moral compass that's increasingly going crazy. St. Matthew put it well. He put it this way: out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
So sorry.
Yes, sir. That was timed perfectly. But I don't want him going in the bathroom. St. Matthew, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Because that's what I've come here. Because I want to renew my heart, so that my mouth may speaketh good things. For it is deep inside where that spiritual self lives and longs to be heard, and to lead us into places of hope and love and faith, and as we learned this morning, gratitude. Gratitude, big theme in this reading, certainly for the curing of a deadly disease, over the big things, but also over the little things, the ones that are more common, that you and I brush up against every day. Poet Mary Oliver puts it this way. It's a wonderful little poem she has. It's called Praying, and it goes like this. It doesn't have to be the big blue iris. It can be weeds in the vacant lot. A couple of small stones. Just pay attention. Then patch a few words together. Don't try to make them elaborate. This isn't a contest, but the doorway into thanks and a silence in which another voice may speak. Inside each of us is that other voice. It's what the 10th leper heard. It's what he made space for. It's what made him courageous, memorable, wonderful. I often wonder what his pathway of access was. Was he a man of prayer? Perhaps he thought that prayer was not about asking God for things we want, or telling God how to run our lives, or apologizing for not being good enough. No, maybe he thought prayer was about listening. Maybe he thought prayer was about emptying ourselves, being silent, pausing the inner noise of earthly thoughts and feelings, reasoning, planning, and prioritizing, and drawing ourselves towards that silent, stoic, shining, heavenly light. Prayer is not about judging others, fixing them, or forcing them to conform to our will. It's understanding that our spirituality is the pathway to experiencing that part of our souls that are already joined with God. When St. John of the Cross taught that the soul is somehow God, I think he was alluding to this, that our innermost selves have a connection to God, to truth, to love. And it's the channeling of that light we not only use to help repair the world, but also in finding contentment in ourselves as we live and connect with that light. Prayer is a way to give life to our souls by emptying our worldly worries at the shrine of ultimate holiness. That shrine, of course, is love. And while prayer is one pathway, you may have another one. What if you're rather bookish? Many intellectuals find a pathway through reading, studying ideas, connecting concepts. Has a book ever spoken to your soul? Many of us churchgoers find God overwhelmingly present in the liturgy, from the soaring music to the gracious altar to Holy Eucharist, the symbol and reality of Christ being truly present in the bread and wine. Others, maybe it's you, get a divine spark in your soul as you engage in activism, when you see spirits come alive as they move an important cause forward that resonates with you. They see their inner life alive when pleas for justice are most clearly communicated. And still others find themselves most alive in nature and are able to nurture and tap into their deepest spiritual selves by ruminating on the created world, taking in the smells, the sounds, the touches of our natural environment. I wonder how that 10th leper did it. Amidst his quarantine community, living such a dreary, dismal, mundane life, how did he make time? How did he make place to hear, to cultivate, to obey that song of the soul that drove him and him alone to gratitude? I wonder if he started small, as Mary Oliver suggested, and gave thanks for his breath, for his meager food, for his dirty clothing. I wonder if he found a way to give thanks for the big things by giving thanks for the small things. I wonder how you and I, amidst the busyness and the barriers of our daily lives, how we cultivate our souls to be aware and enlivened as spiritual beings. Maybe we too start with the small things. And if we start there, my mind quickly expands to the mind-blowing. Have you ever thought that we live in this state of perpetual disassociation from the almost unbearable wonder of being alive? It's truly amazing. Think for a moment. Think of the singularity that we surely once were. Think of the bright awareness of our individuality that we enjoy now. Contemplate that every atom in our bodies can be traced to the first stars, even a particular star in the infant universe that makes up sinew and spirit, across billions and billions and billions of blind steps. And think that each one of those steps had to be taken in that certain way in which they were taken for you and me to end up here. The bona fide miracle of our existence. Take a moment to be wonderstruck at the incredulity of it all. It is not surprising that we are drawn to submerge ourselves in the mundane. I'd rather wash dishes than answer emails. Think about how complex it is for me to actually be here. Such is human life, so profound, so majestic, to command such attention. But like a hidden headline in a journalism class, folks, it's only for those who have ears to hear, who have eyes to see. It's all about awareness. And awareness is not an accomplishment. It's a practice, one that can be learned, one that can be cultivated. I wonder how you are growing in awareness. I wonder what steps you are taking to be more aware of the gifts and the blessings around you. How is God inviting us to deeper places of awareness, of paying attention to those spiritual selves of ours? And how might we learn from that one leper, that discipline of gratitude, giving thanks for big and small, so that we too may recognize, may turn, may bow, and give thanks where thanks is due. Amen.